Welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Zombie, and this is It's Frickin' Figures, where we talk shit about toys.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Oh, boy.
Well, we're going to be deep in the shit tonight, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
So,
it.
how was your weekend? How'd it go?
It was fine. I think.
It was just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine.
I don't know of anything else to talk about that happened in the weekend. I live a pretty boring life. I'm still alive. That's good. But I just get up and then people pass around me and I just continue on into the Netherlands, nether regions, or whatever you want to call it. Just people just pass me by. I don't know.
I wish I had a boring weekend. Oh, man. I can't tell you what happened, though. That's a conversation best left for being private.
Yeah.
That's, because the whole work kind of thing. So, can't talk about it. Sorry.
Well, so, get anything in the box?
I did, but I want you to go first.
All right.
I know you got something.
Yes, I did. I got a box.
What's in the box? All right. Moment of truth, because I couldn't remember if you already had these things or not. So hopefully I did good, and I sent you something you don't already have. I'm gonna shit here on live stream if you tell me you've already got these things.
All right, here's the moment of truth. All right. Oh, I did not expect this. Oh. And I don't have either one. Oh my god.
Okay, good. You do now.
Yes, I do. These were the two I really wanted.
And it's funny because those are the only two that I found.
Man. I actually really liked this whole wave that they released. I thought all of them were great. Even Balin. They actually released a couple Balin skulls, but Shin Hati I thought was great. But
so I was fun story here how I found those, because I haven't seen them in my town at all. I was like in another town because we there was something that my wife needed and we couldn't find it here, so we called around, and like a couple of towns over they had what she was looking for, so we took a road trip, just out of the blue, impromptu road trip, and there was Walgreens, and she said, okay, well, there's actually something at Walgreens I need too. So we stopped in there, and I almost didn't walk down the aisle where they keep like toys and stuff, because this one's kind of, I don't know, it's iffy. And I just kind of happened to look over, and I see Thrawn, Papa Smurf, blue dude, just hanging out on the shelf, and I'm going, no way. So I walk up, I pick him up. I'm like, oh, I don't think Dustin has this. And I look down, and then I see Ahsoka in her white robes. I'm going, no way. So I grab it. I'm going, oh, man, I got to get these for him.
I appreciate it, man. These are
And the whole time I'm going, oh, God, I hope you don't have these already, because I can't remember.
I definitely do not.
Well, we got a few people joining us in the chat, too. Let's say hey to them.
Yeah. Hey, Deepak. We got
Pops.
Boyamic. Yeah.
Pops
is up there.
What's up, man?
How's it going? Yeah.
Deepak.
Yeah.
Just stopping in and say hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hello. I knew you was gonna do that.
We were on the frequency. Hello. Oh boy. So yeah. Yes, I cannot wait to open these. Mess around with them.
Yep, that's cool. So these are the two from the Ahsoka show.
Yep.
So for those that weren't sure what that was. So all right, besides what I sent you, anything else?
Yeah. Nope. Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, nope, obviously. Nope, still waiting on the wave to get my wave back from Super 7. So hopefully I get that at some point soon. I need to go and figure out the tracking number and see if it's even gotten there yet. I have no idea.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Hopefully they'll take care of you.
Oh well, yeah. He already said he would, and if not, then I'll heckle him when we talk to him, because we are going to talk to him.
Damn right we will.
February 17th.
On the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I plan on talking to him. I know. I think Road Pig John is more excited about it than even I am. He's just like, oh yeah. He has a bunch of questions.
Yeah, no, that's where I was going to. Anybody out there that's watching that's got questions you want answered, shoot us over to us, and we'll try to get some answers. We can't promise he's going to answer everything.
Right.
We'll give it a shot. All right. Yeah. So if you didn't watch this past Friday, I got something from Dustin's mom. I got a little stuffed animal flying squirrel thing. It was funny because this all stemmed. She ended up getting a flying squirrel in her home like a couple of months ago or whatever. So I was kind of teasing them about it a little bit, and on one of the episodes, for Friday, I was having a conversation with her in the chat about how her new pet was doing. And she said, "Pet, what are you talking about? I didn't get a new pet." I'm like, "Yeah, the flying squirrel, how's he doing?" And she said, "Oh, no, I don't know. He's gone. I don't know what happened. Like, he got out, he got in, he got out." I'm like, "Oh, you could have kept him and named him Rocky, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Yeah. So I don't want that thing. I'll send him to you. You can have him." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take a flying squirrel as a pet." So last Friday, I got this in the mail. So Rocky's going to hang out with us.
Heck yeah.
But besides that, I got something kind of cool in.
All right.
Picked this up, just kind of it was right time, right place kind of thing, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's appropriate for this time of year. So
oh, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got the miner from My Bloody Valentine.
That is cool.
By NECA.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So this is the one that's got like the soft goods and stuff on it. So yeah, it was a cool little pickup. I'm like, yeah, I think I want that.
I didn't even know that existed. That's really cool.
Well, there's a couple of versions. So this is the one with the soft goods, and I think they did make one that had just it was like a hard plastic type.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of neat. Well, toss it in the collection until I decide to get rid of him. Whatever. Yeah. I'll make a custom that I'm more happy with or whatever, and probably sell this one off. I don't know. Whatever. But I also got a massive box in last week. And this box weighed probably almost 20 pounds. the Necronominous wave is hitting. If you pre-ordered the all-in wave through the Four Horsemen, you probably either already have your set or it's on the way. Those of you that did not pre-order an all-in set, those individual orders of figures will be shipped separately. They kind of always do that. So the first one I grabbed and opened, of course, had to be Necronominous himself.
Hey, Josh.
The Bone Daddy of them all. So I don't have him decked out with all of his stuff. I tried to right before the beginning of the show, and it didn't work out too well. So I just kind of said, fuck it. Here's the main figure anyway. He's really cool. He does come with some awesome looking soft goods. And of course, they're going to be wired. I love the little pattern. There we go.
That is crazy.
Pattern inside that cloak of his. And this ribbon fits around him. That's wired also. The armor is just so intricate and detailed. It's crazy to think that this is a Mythic Legions figure because I'm so used to like just those standard figures or whatever. And this just punches up the detail to 1,000. It's crazy.
Wow, look at those skeletons on the back.
He is covered in all kinds of ornate bone detail. It's just crazy. The wings are just massive. Like I couldn't even take them all out and put them together. I mean, it's crazy. Look, that's the size of them next to my head. They're huge. And they come in, there's like little pieces that you can put on them that I haven't got to yet. These two little pieces here connect to those wings, so it's like a thumb piece or whatever. Wow. It fits on the top. So whenever I do get them on them, they're going to be all splayed out like. Rah.
That's crazy.
I just dropped something. I don't know what I dropped. Oh, it was a hand. Yeah, he comes with
Josh Perry says, "What's up, zombie?"
Hey, what's up, man? I just checking out the Necronominous figure from the Necronominous wave.
That's cool.
I've got to try and show you the scythe that he comes with because this is like I don't know. I like it's a cool piece on its own, but if you look, the scythe is him. Okay, that's Necronominous on there holding another little mini scythe. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Yeah, it is. That is freaking epic.
But yeah, no,
is this the only one that I feel like I'm getting mixed up a little bit? Is that the one that there isn't any other skeleton that comes with a scythe in this wave, is there?
Actually, there is. Maxilius the Harvester.
Yes, okay, that's the one I'm thinking of.
That's probably the one that I'm going to open next because that's the one where you can take all the gear off of him and swap his head, and you can have a Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I like that they try to listen to the fans. I like that.
Yeah, dig it.
Yeah, no. But he comes with some Easter eggs that Necronominous, that crazy Necronominous does. Come to find out, underneath his headdress on his forehead, there's a big gaping hole right in the middle. And the first person that posted it publicly, there was an eyeball staring back at him. And the next person said, well, it's not an eyeball. I don't know what you're talking about. Mine has a mouth. And then somebody else said, well, I've got a little mini skull staring back at me. So there's variants of Necronominous out there. Yeah, as crazy as that sounds. Dustin, if you would, bring up my share screen. Yeah, because here's a picture of mine. And you can see.
Oh, wow.
There's an eyeball underneath his headdress. And let me zoom in here so you can really get a good look at it. And I've got one of my stickers back there to prove, hey, that's me.
That's crazy.
So they're numbered, and the eyeball turns out underneath his chin, the reverse side of the head. This is number 2. This one with the mouth, you can kind of see right there in the middle of that forehead. This one is labeled as number 1.
Yeah.
And then the third one that has been discovered, like I said, there's like a little bitty skull peeking out of that little hole in his forehead,
That
and that
is
one
crazy.
is 3. So what we have here is just a variant of the sculpt itself, but we don't know if there's more than 3.
Yeah.
Some people have theorized that this is like because Necronominus has children, those that he has either raised from the dead or maybe fathered himself. Who knows? So there's more than 3 children of Necronominus, but there was only 3 in the storyline that got left behind in the physical world, while Necronominus and the other big bads or whatever were banished to another realm. Necronominus had other children with him in this other realm, so it could be a tie-in with this is how he was keeping up with events in the main, like the real world or whatever.
Yeah.
Because one of them is like his his eyes, the other is his mouth, and then the other is I forget what they said. So there's a little bit of symbolism. There's all kinds of theories going on right now about all this. So the Horsemen haven't come out and said, oh, hey, surprise. They haven't revealed anything yet. I expect they will eventually when more people actually get them in hands. But everybody's going, are there more variants out there? Were there only 3? What's going on with this guy,
Yeah.
People were questioning if this was real or not. Somebody's, I'm going to go back to mine here. The other person that was showing the eyeball, people were going, that's too clean. That can't be. You had to have added that in there. And the person was swearing, no, that's how it is. That's how I found it. And then, the second person to lift up the headdress was like, well, I don't have an eyeball. That's strange. What's going on? So I had to open mine. Of course, I was going to open him first anyway. Yeah. And I peeked and I had the eyeball. I'm like, oh, yep, I can confirm that eyeball is not custom. That is there put crazy. For purpose. Yeah.
Well, I dig that. That's very interesting.
Cool little surprise. And there's all kinds of like little hidden details all around his armor. Like, so he's the leader of the evil faction that opposes the Order of Etheron.
Uh-huh.
So each of the factions kind of has like their light side, dark side kind of thing going on. One of them opposes the other directly. Necronominus and his congregation oppose the Order of Etheron. And there's a lot of like bird ornate decoration in Necronominus's armor itself. Like, it's almost like a bastardization, like he's poking fun at them or whatever. So you can see with his headdress, there's like feathers, there's wings.
Oh, wow.
Behind that bony headdress, there's like a feather kind of motif here in the shoulder piece, on the back. Like there's 3 angels or whatever in skeletal form. The arm bracers, there's like a bird skull. Let me see if I can get it. You can kind of sort of make it out right here.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
There's a bird skull there. And then the biggest part that's like really obvious is you see the bird head right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's wings. So it's really cool. I like how they did that. It's, I don't know, somehow fitting.
Well, isn't a lot of that faction birds and other things, like, isn't there, or is that a different faction I'm thinking of?
Well, not in Necronominus, the congregation, not in there. I mean, there's
Etheron there.
Yeah, Etheron. Yeah, because they're like godlike creature that their deity or whatever is a bird.
Exactly.
Of course. But yeah, no, that's. I'm not going to go through every single figure tonight that's in the wave that I got. I'll I'll dole that out as we go. You know,
Yeah.
kind of savor it, if you will. You know, just kind of spotlight one at a time, I think.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But since we are talking about that wave, I do want to share. These are actual studio pictures here of the newly updated Sir Gideon version 2. Dustin, if you want to take me down, I'm going to swap over here. Yeah, there we go. So here is the leader of that faction that I was just talking about, the Order of Etheron. This is Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. What's going on? I see the comments in the
Hey, Cos. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Cos. Sorry, distraction. Squirrel. Yeah, no. This is just the version 2 of him. You know, updated armor, of course, newly sculpted bits and pieces. I think he's new from head to toe, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Even the weapon, the Heavensbrand sword there. It just kind of give you an idea of why I'm calling him the version 2 is because here's a side-by-side of that first version. The first one being on the right of this picture here and the newer one being on the left. So you can tell it's the same character, but completely, totally new sculpt from head to toe.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And he comes with a ton of stuff. I am surprised that they sold this figure to us as a standard figure. I believe it was a standard figure. I don't think we got charged the deluxe price for him. Maybe we did and I just forgot. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's been a while. Okay, so
it has.
It's been, you know, roughly 2 years since they debuted the reveal for these figures, and a lot of people are saying, you know, oh well, they were delayed for 2 years. They weren't delayed for 2 years. They went into production, and if I'm being honest, yes, there was a delay, but it was more like 6 months, not 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of confusion with timelines. You know, you get some people, they're just not used to like a pre-order situation. And, you know, they see it as, well, my money's been tied up for 2 years and I still haven't got these figures. The Horsemen always make good on their end. You will always get your stuff. And if something does happen, unfortunately, where they cannot deliver, they absolutely will issue refunds. I've seen it happen before in the past. Just saying. But with that being said, I'm going to move on here. There's a little bit more news for Horseman Studios. They have started revealing their next wave of reissues for, let's see if I can get him a little bit more on screen there. Their retailer appreciation wave. And this is where they reissue some of the Figura Obscura figures repainted. Like last week, I think I showed you the retailer appreciation wave that I got from Omega Level Toys and Comics, where the repaints of Mask of the Red Death, Sun Wukong, Monkey King, and Jacob Marley. So here it is. Everybody kind of suspected that this was going to happen anyway. On the left, you have the standard version of Anubis that they released sometime last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
I want to say it was around this time last year.
Yeah, probably right about this time. Yeah, you're right. So on the right, we have the newly colored version for the Retailer Appreciation Wave 3. Everybody knew it was going to be a black version. I'm happy that they went that way. I definitely want Anubis in all black. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Not that the first one is bad. I love it. It introduced a whole lot of new parts and everything, but something about just that all black coloration of Anubis and the way they incorporated more blues in the armor, that to me says Anubis.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. Like, I do think that's awesome, but I don't know. I like them both, but
yeah, they're both great. I will have both, but if I'm going to display one, like it's going to be the new one, like the all black blue armor. That's That's the Anubis I've always wanted.
Yeah. All right,
But
just a quick shout out. We have Levi in the chat, and um, yeah. So don't forget to drop the links, like, share, stream, all that good stuff. We're on live on Pilled, D Live, and Rumble. Howdy to those chats. But you were saying.
Yep. Nope. Where did I leave off here?
So is it just Anubis, or are they now? Okay, that's what I was about to ask.
Yep, I'm getting there.
Because they released these as a 2-pack, yeah?
They did, and I don't think they're going to do that this time around. So when they first released Anubis and This Is Bastet, it was a set. You couldn't get them individually. You had to buy them as a set. There was no way to separate them. There were people making all kinds of wheels and deals saying, hey, I actually don't want Bastet, but I want Anubis. You know, some looking for people to split it with, or they wanted multiple of one of the other. This time around, I think they're not going to offer them as a set. They will be an individual skewed item. So you could get one or the other without getting both. With that being said, I'm mixed on Bastet. I don't like the red wrappings. I much prefer that more that natural linen color on the original one. I'm digging the black skin though, so I don't know. I may have to just get one anyway, and I'll use it in a custom somewhere.
Yeah, I honestly I like the wraps on her, the wraps of her torso and up her breasticles, whatever you want to call them. I think that's really cool. Didn't they do this on someone else on another figure? I just can't.
The wrap.
Yeah, I want to say it was on a vampire. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm not recalling that. For now, I think that torso is unique to her.
Well,
I could be wrong. So there's a lot that I'm forgetting sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely don't remember everything, and I am fallible. So, yeah, no, it's an interesting. You know, they went all black with Anubis, so they go all black with Bastet. You know, it's only natural. Now, I do want to point out that the accessories that these things come with. Real quick, I'm going to share this picture, just kind of the side by side of both new versions. So these are not to scale. Bastet is actually smaller in height to Anubis. This is just an image that I found, you know, perusing the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
But the accessories that they come with, they still come with all of the good bits that the originals came with. All those multiple hands, the extra heads and everything. Now so Anubis comes with 2 different neck plugins, and it confused me at first until I had them both side by side in hand. So one of them is more of a stone texture. It's got cracks and stuff in it, where the other one is more of like a skin texture. And they do that because some of these heads, like you'll see, well, why does Bastet come with 4 heads that look exactly the same? Well, they're not exactly the same. If you look at 2 of them, they've got gold inside the ears. Those are more like a stone statue type of sculpture, and they've got little cracks and stuff in them. Whereas the other 2 that don't have the gold inside the ears, those are more of like an actual life cat sculpt. And the same thing with Anubis. The head that you see on the figure itself here is more of that statue kind of carving head for Anubis, whereas the ones down below by the extra feet, those are actually like living, like a dog, like the jackal actual head. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, no, they come with all this great stuff. And I mean, if you love the accessories and things like that, I mean, they hook you up with these two figures.
Yeah, they do. That
What?
that that looks so awesome. I don't know. Something so cool about it.
Yeah, no, it's a great set. I love them. Um, just today, I think. Was it today? My days get so mixed up. So they
Mm-hmm.
also announced the Ghost of Christmas Past, and here you see her with her recolor with the recolor of the Jacob Marley figure. Now that is the not the original. That's the Retailer Appreciation Wave 2 version. So they kind of
Yeah.
matched. So that's interesting. I was kind of curious what way they would have went with her recolor. So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense with the whole ghostly apparition,
Yeah.
kind of bluish color there. So it makes sense. Um,
Yeah. Sort of like a Jaga or a
yeah,
Obi-Wan.
yeah, it's very spirit like.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job with it. This one personally, I'm probably not going to get. I I have the original.
Yeah.
Unless one just kind of falls into my lap or whatever, I might use her for customs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't necessarily need, this version of that character. Still a great figure though, and
Yeah, it does.
it's going to come with all of her original accessories. They always do. And then here's another little fun shot with some of their alternate heads. That's
Uh,
kind of cool.
See, I actually like that better than I thought I would because I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the gaping mouth on Jacob Marley, but the fact that she has a gaping mouth, it just compared they go together. It's like, okay, now that looks cool.
Yeah, and fun fact, that head where she's got her maw all open and jagged teeth and everything, that was the hey, surprise, that's the hidden surprise head that the original comes with. It's just the original came with that kind of monstrous looking head there and black hair instead of white that came standard on the figure.
Yeah.
So you got and the hair pieces are removable across the board on all of those heads that she came with. So if you didn't want her to have white hair, you could put the black hair on her.
Ooh.
Made a really interesting parts combination combo for some of the people out there. I've seen some really cool pictures. So
I
there's
actually
your
think I'm gonna need that.
there's your surprise head. Now I don't know if it's
Hey,
going to come
Road
in
Pig
the
John,
oops
we were just talking about you.
all
Yeah,
bad things. All
that
bad things.
that head reminds me of Abeloth,
Oh,
my
I
favorite villain
see.
in Star Wars. And it's just like
Yeah.
that would be so. I have a head that I purchased from someone. I forget who it was, but I haven't painted it yet. But man, that looks insanely
Gotcha.
cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I got the other blue Jacob Marley just because like I wanted to help
Yeah.
support Omega Level Toys and everything because I was kind of like, hey, yeah, I don't know. I already have 3 Jacob Marley. Why do I really want another one just because it's in a different color?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's our buddies over there. Go shopping. Go get you some of these cool figures. They won't find these just yet now.
Yeah.
Um, and he will be getting the Necronominous wave. So if you're watching us in the weeks to come and you see me showing any of these figures from the Necronominous wave, and boy howdy, let me tell you, there's some killer figures in this wave. I'm sorry if you're getting tired of me talking about Mythic Legions. I'm not
It's
stopping
not gonna
anytime
stop.
soon. I can't stop. I won't stop.
We have
I'm
no
gonna make a
apologies.
I'm going to make a true believer out of all of you eventually.
I
But
mean, we'll probably still talk about him while we have Brian Flynn on the
I
show. You
mean,
never know.
you never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Exactly.
Stay tuned. But anyway, that's go to Omega Level Toys. We'll put the link up again. Go buy some cool stuff from them. Tell Travis Zombie sent you.
Yep.
There you go. OmegaLevelToys.BigCartel.com. Just go do it. Do it anyway.
For shits and giggles.
So I am going to move on from Mythic Legions and all that kind of stuff. I will have more news, as the weeks go by. I will mention this. I don't have any pictures pulled up, but they are running if cosmic space stuff is more your speed. They do have a pre-order right now up for some special heads painted by one of the Mythic Legions community famous customizers, much like myself. His name is Eric Miller, and they commissioned him to paint some of their variant heads to go on some of the bodies for some of their Cosmic Legions figures. Those are up for pre-order right now. It is a pre-order item. Will ship much, much later.
Yeah.
But
they're pretty cool.
The good thing, and they're $10 a piece. You get two pieces per pack.
Yep.
So I say pieces because one of them offers a head and a tail instead of two heads. But most packs, you get two heads. So head on over to storehorseman.com. Check them out. Look under the pre-order tab. You'll see it. Really cool offerings there. Punch up some of those figures if you've already got them. If you've been curious about them, here's some extra pieces that you can get for them. They do have a limited stock of bundles that they've put together with figures that you would put those heads on. Now, I don't know if they're going to go ahead and ship the figure to you and the heads later, or if they're going to hold those figures until they get the heads in the warehouse, because the heads haven't been made yet. So even though you might see some bundles on there, those aren't like in stock. You can get those right away with those new heads. Those new heads still have to be made. But anyway, I'm going to move on from Legions. I'm really excited about this. So this is those of you that lived through the 80s, how could you not know what this is? This is an offering, hopefully soon, from Ramen Toys, pending licensor approval. They are actually trying to get approved license for this one. So this is Kit from Knight Rider, if you're not familiar, for you youngins out there that might be watching. I
shudder to think. Oh, God.
I have not bought one of the vehicles from Ramen Toys yet. I've been close to buying one of the vans.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, if this gets approved, day one, God willing, I'm pre-ordering this bad boy. I've said it before on the show. I remember having, and I swear it was a 1/12 scale. It was big. I remember it being big. Knight Rider kit from Knight Rider, and it had a Michael Knight figure that went with it. It only had maybe 5 points of articulation. I'm talking shoulders, hips, and the head rotated.
Yeah.
But it had a neat little feature. The license plate, you could push the license plate, and he said phrases from the show. And I remember this because I kind of messed mine up a little bit. If you flipped him over upside down, there was like a hole, and it had this weird plastic bag thing. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But I was poking around with that thing, and I sped up the voice track. and for a long time, I couldn't get it to go back. And I think my mom managed to do it somehow. But I never messed with it after that. I was like, ooh, don't stick your finger in there, okay? Words to live by, all right?
You're right.
Don't stick your finger in there. But yeah, no, I absolutely must have this. They look like Haunted Mansion ghosts. Oh yeah, the Jacob Marley and Ghost of Christmas Past. Yeah.
And we have Levi Skeen saying, Elon Musk, please make Kit a reality.
I don't know if I would like that or not. I'll stick with the toy.
Right.
But yeah, no, I have to have this one. Even, I mean, it's got working lights. It's going to have, the tracing, whatever it's called.
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, it's literally like a pulse or a heartbeat of
right,
the car.
right. I mean, that's so cool.
It is.
And it's got, so if you look, it'll have the working headlights and all that kind of stuff. Door's going to open, standard fare for Ramen Toys quality.
Yeah.
Let's see. Little inside look of where the dash panel is going to be, the steering wheel.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just, I can't.
They have it lit up on the inside too. That's insane.
Yeah. So that tells you that the dash panel is going to light up and everything.
Yeah.
That's very cool. But then this was a little bit of a surprise here. I vaguely remember this feature, and it's something like pursuit mode or something another, where parts and pieces of the car would pop out. Like, here the bumper comes forward, there's these little fin things on the side, and you've got air intakes that on the side that pop out and pop open and everything. That's,
hey, what's up?
Very interesting. Some might say it's very Mask like, if you will. Those of you that remember Mask. Maybe if this does well, maybe that's a possibility for the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
We gotta get him back on the show, Dustin.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to Ace and see what he's doing. I think they're closed right now. They're not doing anything, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's over. I don't know.
I don't know. He might be going to conventions and stuff. He might be convention hopping, but you got to get him back on, because man, this just makes me want to ask a bunch of questions. Questions he might not be able to answer, but I'll still ask him.
Right. We have Figure Fight Club up in the house.
Hey, Abby, what's up?
And
we had your boy Trey in here earlier. I don't know if he's still hanging around or not.
Kaz says making those LED lights was one of my early electronic projects, except they were for a Cylon. Am I saying that right? Before the car?
Yep.
Nice.
Interesting. So what are you saying?
Model.
Wait. I want to... Kaz, explain. Are you saying you worked on the effects for Kit? Or am I misunderstanding what you're saying? Like, I get the Cylon, the tracer for the Cylon. I remember those too. Battlestar Galactica we're talking about there, Dustin.
Oh, okay.
That's what the big bad robots were called in that show.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that's no, but yeah, there's your shot of replica model, he said. I got you.
Gotcha. So I just had it, but it disappeared. Okay, so Levi says that was the upgraded Pursuit model. And I don't know, to be honest, what that reminded me of, that extended bumper, it reminded me of my 89 Batmobile, because the front bumper would pop out and you could ram stuff, and then you could press something on the back and little claws would reach around and grab figure or whatever out of the back. So it's like, that's what that reminded me of. I was just like, that's cool.
That tracks. So, yeah, for his replica model, he used the LED chaser for the car. That makes sense. I follow you now.
Yeah.
So, I was so into Knight Rider as a kid. I even had this.
That's awesome.
So, for those of you that remember Big Wheels, I actually had this one. Yeah,
It's crazy to think that you were ever that small to actually ride one. I always
Right?
picture you fully grown. You came out of your mom's womb fully grown. You're like, huh.
Oh no. Like if you look at the rear wheel, there's this red lever, and that was like the emergency brake. So
Yeah.
you could really get going on that thing,
And
and
then
then
pull it.
grab that and turn
Yeah.
that front wheel, and you'd like slide sideways.
Yeah.
I loved that thing, and of course, the same thing that happens with all of these big wheels. That front tire just gets eat up by the concrete and asphalt that you're hauling ass on, so you
Yep.
eventually get holes in the wheels. I loved that thing. They do make big wheels for grown-ups, by the way. Don't know if you know or not. They look hella fun too.
I would have to have a motorized one.
But yeah, I didn't like the Knight Rider, the whole Knight Rider thing. Like I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about Michael Knight. It was the car. Like
Oh yeah,
that's what.
totally.
Like as a kid, I'm watching that show. Just show me the car. I want to see the car go turbo mode and do some jumps, and
Yeah.
it was cool. It was black. It had the red tracer on the front. It talked. Like what kid wouldn't love that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I loved it. But I mean, so Knight Rider was always a thing, and I was excited about it. But not too long after, like in the 90s, they came out with a show called Viper.
I remember that.
And it was around the whole. They released the Viper, and
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to hype up the car, basically. So it was a show for a car that they wanted to get hype around, and so that was more my thing. So if they made a Viper thing, like I loved Kit, but I loved Viper too, because that was like a second, almost like an upgrade to Kit. But and I will never forget the opening, the day after tomorrow, a time when criminals rule the city. The only weapon that could stop them needs a driver. And it's just like, oh, it was awesome. But I digress.
The 90s were wild, weren't they?
Yeah.
No, my heart belongs to Kit. I'll be ordering him if they do get the approval for that. Which I mean, whoever holds the license for this and sees this, how could they not? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's beautiful. Yes, let's make it.
Right. Better not have some sort of stuck up.
Ew, no, I don't like cars.
Yeah, who knows? I have no idea who owns the rights right now.
I have no idea right now.
Didn't bother looking. Don't care.
Yeah.
Make this fucking toy, all right?
Right.
So let's get controversial here a minute, Dustin.
Let's get controversial. Yeah.
Tell me how you feel
Jesus,
about
why
this.
did you do this?
Tell
why
me,
did you bring this up?
Tell me.
Why?
So Playmates now holds the license for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Hasbro Lightning Collection is done.
Yeah.
They're not making anything new from that.
Right.
That whole Hasbro with the toy manufacturing thing that's a whole other mess, and I'm not getting into that right now.
Yeah. Why bother if it's done's done?
How do you feel about them passing the torch, let's say, to another toy company, and they're pretty much going to start over?
Yeah. Fuck them.
But tell us how you really feel.
I'm serious. Like, it's like I'm glad that I got my main team, and I got a lot of other things around it that were just cool. But there's certain things that I never got that I was waiting to get. Like, it's like, okay, well, if they ever release this team, I'll pick up, because again, my favorite's Tommy Oliver. So I'll pick up, the red Zeo or red Turbo dude. I'll do that. I have Zeo. I have the Zeo Ranger of Tommy, and it's like, okay, so I'm just picking up the basic Tommies, and I think I told you about this. Like, if they ever release Tommy and like street clothes, if they ever do, any version of Tommy, I'll pick those up because that's where my heart belongs. Because I mean, he's my dude. But to see them do this, it looks awful. Maybe it's I saw something from a different line or a different scale, but the one teaser image that I saw of Reignition is the Red Ranger, and he's holding his sword, and you see the hilt of the sword, and it's just flat plastic gray. And I'm thinking, like, what the heck? Like, no thanks. I don't want that.
Yeah,
not at all.
I'm personally not happy that Playmates has the license. I'm not a big Playmates guy. I haven't enjoyed Playmates since I was a little kid playing with my original Ninja Turtles.
Right.
So that was like my Playmates heyday. Was back then. I've since moved on to, better quality things. Now, I want to zoom in here on these silhouettes. I don't have any images, so I didn't get to see what you saw about the coloration of the weapon, but that doesn't sound promising to me at all. So that tells me that their weapons might even just be one solid color,
right?
Like the original figures were when they were released back in the 90s.
That's exactly what it looked like. And I'm thinking, like, why the fuck are we going backwards?
Right. I mean, are you trying to hit on that nostalgic feeling or whatever? Because we've all kind of grown up enough to where we appreciate good quality in the things that have been remade better than what they were back when we were kids. Like, don't take a step back, but I'm not happy with these silhouettes looking at them, because you could just look, especially around the knees. Those are single jointed knees.
Yeah.
And they do not look good.
No, they do not. They look god awful, to be honest.
I don't like the way the hip areas look. They look very disjointed.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to release more pictures in the coming days, but this is a big no for me. I like you. I'm happy that I got, my core team from Hasbro through the Lightning Collection.
Yep.
And I'm just going to be happy with those. Yeah,
exactly. It's a disappointment because, I mean, they still haven't released. They still have teams that they haven't completed. I saw a bunch of people when this was announced, they were all up in arms because it's like Hasbro still hasn't finished this team, and it was like whatever comes after Turbo. There was one in space that they didn't complete. All there really was like a Blue Ranger or something like that, and the Yellow Ranger from the space ones, and it's like I didn't watch the space ones, but
I tapped out on Turbo. I'm like, yeah. I don't think I can continue with this.
Right. I ought to be honest. Like I think I was out at Zeo, but I would come back in when I would see like a heavy Tommy episode. So there was one episode where it was him battling himself in his mind. He was unconscious or something, and so he had to face the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, and the Red Ranger, and he had to like come out on top. And you had to see which one would come out on top, which personality or color identity he would have, and so it was weird, but it was cool to, because it's Tommy, and that's my dude.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
He
tapped
won't
out.
be
I just
missed.
watched the few episodes like that I was like, oh. And I did try to watch ones that where he's like Dino Thunder or whatever, and it's just like, oh wait, Tommy's still in this, and I tune in and watch. But yeah, I'm so glad that I got my. I mean, because like if you look, if you zoom in on the Red Ranger silhouette,
Yeah,
that
give me
is
just a
the
second.
uh, you see how blocky it is at the bottom
Yes.
of the sword,
Yes.
and it's and he's holding it like not even in a natural pose like you can get like Mythic Legions and stuff in. It's just like he's holding it, and it's just I don't know. It's not very good.
Oh, I guarantee you that especially if what you're saying is correct and the weapons are all like one silver
Yep.
color or whatever, I guarantee you they're gonna make it to where those weapons can combine to make that blaster that they
Yeah.
would make. So I'm sure they're gonna go for that feature.
Yeah, I imagine so, but it's not worth it to downgrade the weapons enough to.
Yeah, I mean, no, Hasbro did it, and they were fully painted.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. Like I said, this is a big no for me. I don't need to rebuy them just because they're made
Right.
by another company.
Yep. Not a single bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
especially
My biggest.
because, like,
Sorry, go ahead.
just because I was saying, like, especially because they're so far beyond, like in the storyline, like they were producing stuff that was in like the comics, like Draken and that whole thing. Like, I mean, I have a setup, like it came as a piece with like some what is it, like some diorama built around it where it's Draken and he has his weapons, his sword and the helmet off to the side, the Red Ranger helmet off to the side, and so that's all in this display, and I still have it over here boxed up, and so I because I don't have any place to put it, so I just kept it in the box. But yeah, I mean, that is where it should continue to go. Like they should have gone to a company or stayed with, I don't even Hasbro, but Hasbro gave up the license or whatever. But they should have kept going and dipped into the storyline of the comics, and maybe produced more of those characters. I found that to be more interesting than a re-release for the billionth time of these ancient looking figures.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did kind of dip in to some of those comic figures. They had
Right.
on Hasbro Pulse the I think it's called the Omega Rangers or whatever. It was kind of a side story to explain why Jason, Trini, and Zach left the team and had to be replaced, and they like on the show it was like they're going to like a world peace summit or whatever,
Right.
but really in secret Zordon pulled them to the side and said, hey, there's stuff going on out in the galaxy that we need you to go take care of, but you can't tell the other Rangers. It's got to be a secret. So for a little while you didn't really know who they were, and then they were out in the galaxy and they picked up a fourth team member who was some space alien or something, and
Right.
then they had to come back to Earth for some secret missions or whatever. So the other Rangers were like, wow, who are these guys? So those figures were on Hasbro Pulse for a while and even hit clearance.
Yeah.
And they've got really cool designs too. I wanted to pick those up. I just never could. I didn't have the spare cash to it at any point. But
yeah, same.
But even them, those are really great figures too. My biggest disappointment while Hasbro had the license was they did not come out with like the big Zords, like the Megazords and stuff, like from the original lines that were released or whatever. Like they never
They didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, like they tried a couple of times with some of the things that were like they were real chintzy and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not what we want.
Right.
Like, do the Zords right, even if you have to sell them individually to buy them and combine them. If you can't,
there is a company that's doing that now.
Yeah,
but it's like some
we never
third-party
got them.
company.
Yeah, we never got them in the Lightning collection.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I think that would have been a big hit, But
Huge.
hey, what do I know? I'm just, one of the old school fans.
Right.
But
I mean, I would have purchased the classic one. I would have purchased a Dragon Zord. I would have purchased well, I know they did release a Dragon Zord, but I didn't have money at the time. But regardless of what's new there. But I mean, I would have purchased all of those things just so I can have that setup, like have that big honking, Brachiosaurus, whatever his name was. I'm totally blanking on his name.
Titanus.
I would have Titanus with the Megazords. I could swap out other Megazords in it. It's just like that would be so cool. But like you said, I digress. It's I guess I'm not worth listening to because I'm just a fan.
The first Megazord, the Thunder Megazord, the Ninja Megazord, of course, I mean, you got to have the Dragon Zord if you're a Green Ranger fan.
Yep.
Like you said, Titanus. There's the Shogun Megazord. There's all those great ones that they could have done, and they didn't do anything with it.
Right.
So I don't know. That was my biggest disappointment from Hasbro because when they said they had the Lightning collection and what it was and how it developed, I'm going, okay, any day now they're going to start showing the Megazords, and they just never did. Like, ugh.
I feel like they did on, but it was with the movie ones, and it was like real chintzy and whatnot, like, and it just didn't fly at all. And it's like, no.
Yeah, like
this isn't right.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, but what's done is done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump genres again here.
Ready for me to pull it up?
Yep, go ahead.
Kaboom!
So Mezco dropped this gem.
Yep.
Part of their whatever Mezco Toy Fair 2025 reveals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through all of them. This one just kind of grabbed me. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Love them or hate them.
Cool.
This is a badass looking figure. I've got to say. And I don't have any of their Ninja Turtle stuff.
Nope.
One of my biggest regrets was not putting a pre-order in for that original 4-figure set for the Turtles, because I mean, damn, they look good.
Those were like the perfect Turtles.
This is Shredder from the comics, without a doubt. It's they did a great job capturing the imagery of him. Just a phenomenal looking figure. So if you're collecting those and you've got the Turtles, you've got Casey Jones and all that.
Good for you, man.
More power to you.
Yeah.
But you're going to need Shredder.
I envy you and what you're about to accomplish and complete in this.
And of course it says pending license or approval, but I mean, come on, they're going to get approval for this.
So Ambi says the neck area looks weird. Is that a scarf or a neck brace?
Yeah, it's a scarf. So that scarf will be removable.
Yeah.
So if you don't want that there, it doesn't have to be there. It's just that's a wired piece of fabric that they've got there for the scarf around his neck.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it was in the comic. He had that. I don't know. I digress.
It really depends on which artist was drawing him at that time. Now this is not your your modern Shredder from the comics. Right. Like, let me go back to this picture here. So here's their better studio shot of him.
Yeah.
and it shows it's a little bit in shadow there, but it doesn't look as bunched up. So I'm sure, like the show, they just kind of tossed it in the cabinet and didn't futz with it too much and try to get it to lay flatter or whatever. But so, I mean, this is pretty much how he looks in those original comics.
Yeah.
I think they nailed the look personally. If you're not familiar with how he looks in those original comics, go look him up. I mean, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
This is
Bobby says, I'm sure it'll be much better because that was a prototype, but.
Oh yeah, no, you know, if you're familiar with Mezco and their quality and everything, they're going to do it right. They're not going to, they're not going to drop the ball, not completely. But I've seen comments where, like, let me go back to this picture here, especially because that's probably the worst offender that people are trying to pick apart. Like they'll say, oh, his midsection looks too long and everything, and it looks funky. Well, that's because of the way the clothes are kind of baggy on him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of want that, though. You want that in those soft goods so that you'll be able to pose him, because if they were skin tight, it'd have to be like stretchy spandex material or whatever.
Which is never good and has clearly failed on numerous occasions with their figures. But for me,
that totally
what
fits
stuck out was the knees was just a little weird. I'm like, huh.
So that's just part of the armor. But
I get that, and I think it's because it'll be better to move, but still, it's just like that was a little weird to me. But
so it looks to me like the part around the knee is actually two separate pieces that are connected to that shin piece, so that it's going to probably operate on a hinge, so that they'll give depending on the type of pose that you want to put him in.
Right.
So that looks like that's what that is to me. Just spotting it right here in this picture. But yeah, that scarf is so bunched up around it. It looks odd, but I don't think it's going to be that thick on the final product.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe one day I'll get those turtles.
So he says it's a pass for me only because I don't have the other turtle stuff. Yeah.
Right. And see, I'm probably not going to get the Shredder for the same reason. I don't have the turtles. And even if I do eventually get the turtles, I'm fine with not getting a Casey Jones or a Shredder or any of the other characters that they put out or not or whatever. But those turtles are just, they're so good.
But for me, it's like, I have to pick and choose, like, what exactly am I going to complete here? Do I want to complete my NECA, or do I want to complete the Mezco turtles, or do I want to get the cake turtles? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to choose. But
cake turtles. No, you're probably in a spot where you're closer to completion of your NECA stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you've got more of that, whereas you've got zero of this. So,
right. I mean, honestly, I'd be happy if I could just get the serrated blade, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Shredder, where he has the serrated mask.
Yeah.
Rather than the smooth mask.
I still haven't seen that one in person.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like I could trade, but I don't. It's like I have a trade. It's like I could propose a trade if someone has it, but I haven't found anyone that wants to give theirs up. So
yeah, it's weird. I don't know. So if you're out there, if you've got some extras, you're sitting on one that you're like, I don't know, I could probably let this go. Hit either one of us up. Like, this is the Secret of the Ooze version Shredder, not Super Shredder, the standard, like, with the serrated edge mask and everything, before he becomes Super Shredder.
Right.
Because we've got Super Shredder.
Yep.
But yeah, I've never seen him in person. Like,
me either.
Which is weird that I found Tatsu of all characters twice and still haven't found that Shredder.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to hop over to Fresh Monkey Fiction here. Give an update because there is one from their Naughty and Nice collection. See how their progress is because, we've got a little bit more than 3 days left to go for their crowdfunding because, as I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying it, yes, the figures are up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. Yes, they're exclusive through them. Putting in pre-order does not guarantee that they will get made. They have to meet certain numbers to be able to secure those characters, those figures to get made.
Right.
And that's what really this update is going to be. They reached their target goal for the Zombie Pirate Santa.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You guys did it. Whether you're watching the show or not, whatever. So Zombie Pirate Santa is secured. He's going to get made. The Sleigh.
Yes.
Target achieved. They met those 1,000 units. Your sleigh's getting made. All of you people that are getting your reindeers right about now are going to be overjoyed. If you haven't put your pre-order in for a sleigh yet, now you have to. It's getting made.
It's getting made, dudes. Do
it. So, congratulations.
I'm excited about this next one.
That was a big one. The sleigh was a big one. I wasn't sure if they were going to pull that one off, but I really think the fact of people getting those reindeers in hand helped push the sleigh to get made, because before those reindeers hit hands, they were still hovering around maybe 800 units had been sold so far or pre-ordered. So I think once those influencers that got those reindeer in hand and started talking about it and said, hey, we got the reindeer, now we got to get the sleigh made. Y'all go put your pre-orders in. I really think that helped out because ain't nobody listening to us.
Right.
And the Santatar and Krampatar, they're getting made.
Yeah.
They made it. They got 2,000 pre-orders. Now I don't know if it's 1,000 per, or if one outsold the other. I don't have that information. I don't know. It'd be nice to get them back on the show so we can kind of bend their ear on this whole process.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, our spoiled, rotten children have not gotten funded yet.
Oh.
So they're still kind of falling short, but there's, like I said, a little bit more than 3 days to go. Who knows? Maybe they'll hit it.
Back up.
Who knows? So, but yeah, all of these little kids. Now remember, these children are scaled. They will fit in the Krampatar's little his back basket thing, whatever you want to call it. So they fit inside that basket on his back. Now, the beauty of this is, so the other Krampus figures, Krampus, however you say it, the other figures from this line do not come with that basket. But you could get the Krampatar, and you can take that basket off of his back and put it on one of the other Krampus figures if you've got those.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just pointing out a little bit.
Yeah. So these accessories are swappable in this line. It is a possibility. So go get you some kids.
Oh. That was
no
a little creepy that I laughed so hard at that.
Hey, I said no diddy. We're good. So other than that, you got 3 days, 19 hours, 14 minutes to go talk to your friends and get the kids made. Yeah. I'm going to stop saying that now.
Oh.
I definitely don't want to get us canceled.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me pull them up real quick. let's check on Brutal Realm, because I think they got an update.
Yeah.
Let's see,
They
Brutal
did.
Realm. Let me pull them up real quick. Bear with me. Oop, hit the button. There we go. So it's been a minute since we've talked about them. They've got, let's see, updates.
But they're still on our hearts.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
let's see. I think it's going to be the most recent one here. Yes.
Yeah.
So they've got
There it
some. I guess this is your Paint Master prototypes of
Mhm.
this guy here. You know, they maybe about a week ago they shared a picture of him, and they weren't quite happy. Yeah, it was a picture like this, but the way he was holding his axe wasn't quite right. You know, they needed to rework it a little bit. So let me zoom out to get him a little bit more on the screens. This is just kind of that leaping axe over the head type of shot. Whereas the one they weren't quite happy with, the axe was turned more sideways, and he had a much wider grip on the handle of that axe. So that's really cool. They've got those to show.
Yeah, I dig those.
And then for their evil henchman type of the Shadar here, they're showing some of the sculpts for those face plates that they're going to be making for that figure.
Oh, so cool.
And this was that army builder kind of character for their evil faction that they've got.
Mm-hmm.
And this shows just kind of, the system that they're prototyping out here for that swappable faceplate that they had mentioned.
Which is, I think, is awesome idea.
Yeah, really cool. And then some of the artwork that they've gotten for those same characters. Love the colors on those. That really pops.
Yeah.
Love that shield.
I need them all.
And then the artwork that they're going to use on their main man, Ogun, that's going to be on his packaging.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice.
So cool.
Some of the sculpt work going on for the Chief Mato accessories for him. That's their Native American character. So that's really cool. I like that they're still cranking out those updates. They're still updating those sculpts. They're doing it right. They're not trying to rush it. And they're being completely transparent with, what they're working on, what they're doing. Best of all, you can still go and back them. So they still have their option open. You can see right here, it says back this project. You can click on that, and that will bring you to a screen to where you can still select. Sorry, give me a minute.
Loading.
Yeah. I can't control Kickstarter, okay?
No.
Let me...
I can't even control my computer. Like, my screen's been flickering for like the last hour.
Uh-oh. Let me
just not a good thing.
Okay. Instead of the little pop-up and zoomed in, I'll click the main button. So I don't know if it's gonna load. I'm sorry. Anyway, it could be I'm having just technical problems with my PC. It's been happening all night for me too. Don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, you can still back this project. That is still totally an option. It is there, I promise you. Even though they successfully funded back in August, they have left that open so that you can go. Even if you did back the project, which I did, you don't have to wait for a backer kit. You can still go in and add to your initial pledge. So good on them for keeping that open.
Heck yeah.
That's really cool. Still looking forward to those figures.
I need them.
We need them now.
Get to the chopper. I need them now.
Let's see. Other than that, I think that's all I've brought to share tonight. Dustin,
Well, I have some
anything
teasers.
else?
I have some teasers. Where'd that comment come from? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oops. Better.
What was I doing? Oh, right. So let me just do this. We're heading to close here. I just want to make sure I touch on this stuff before things get too far out of hand. So we will be hitting 200 episodes this week.
What?
With our Friday episode. So come and hang out and chat with us, and maybe watch the movies Smile and Smile 2 at that time, so that way you know what we're talking about, ripping on, or whatever the case may be. And then Monday, interview with Brian Flynn, Super 7. So I know Road Pig John is looking forward to that. So make sure you're here and ready with some questions, or send us some questions, because I know you were like super eager, especially. So they're like, "Oh man, you got to do this." So yeah. But then the 21st, we're having Lori Calcaterra back on to talk about her. There it goes flickering again. Hang on. Yeah, to talk about her Kickstarter, which is right here.
Excuse me.
Path of the Pale Rider. Go back it. Trust me, you won't regret it. And there's lots of options to back it. And then join us for this episode where we're going to talk and review some movies, because it's a Friday show. Yeah.
Really cool stuff on that Kickstarter too. So
yeah.
Not just the comics. She's got all kinds of swag, and there's even hot sauce if you're into that.
Yes, which I'm
Custom
definitely
made
into.
Hot sauce.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely into that. And let's see. And then on March 3rd, we're gonna have the Nameless Toy Company, Space Zombies from Mars, on to talk about their upcoming Kickstarter. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
They've really got to work on that name though. To go nameless for so long, you
need to stop giving me a hard time about that.
Oh, don't think I'm not going to give them a hard time about it too. I'm sure they've heard it from everybody. What is your name? What's your company name again? Well, you don't have one. What are you talking about?
But yeah, so that's on March 3rd. Definitely looking forward to it. They have some really interesting sculpts. And I'm also reaching out to hang on, where'd it go? I've also reached out to From the Realm. It's a cool little well, it's going to be a Kickstarter or something, but they have really awesome figures that are definitely up our alley. And so yeah, both of these figures, a lot of interesting. What?
They're up our what?
Alley. So both of these toy lines are definitely up our area of expertise and enthusiasm. Maybe put it that way. But yeah, so yeah. Let's see.
Abby saying he's got open mic night tomorrow night. That's your Fight Club channel over on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's always an entertaining watch because you never really know who's going to show up or
Right.
what's going to be said. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it was
looking
fun
at
the
you,
few times
Dustin.
I went on, so.
I'm looking at you, Dustin. Come on, a fig.
Right. I forgot about that.
Like, man, whenever we get on a show, we kind of derail the whole damn thing, don't we?
Well, I mean, I was just sitting here. I was messing around with the figure, and I'm here messing with it, and I just hear, "Come on, a fig," and I'm just like, "Wait, what? Did you really mean that? Like, wait, what?" Like, it just perked my ears, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I need to retrace this thought here." And then it
Nope.
turned out to be a joke, and then I played right into it, and then so yeah.
Yeah, no, but he does cool giveaways on his shows too.
Yeah.
So win some cool stuff. Tell him Masters of the Thunder Nerd sent you when you show up. So
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. Once again, thank you for these.
You're welcome.
So excited.
I know Thrawn's your boy, so I couldn't leave him sitting there on the shelf.
Oh yeah, he would have been so sad. He'd been
Yeah.
blue. He's so sad. Even bluer. Yeah. I'm excited because I want to get out the Yasmari and put him in the live actions Thrawn's hands. Like, oh, that would be so cool. I wish they had actually played into that. But they didn't just yet. I'm hoping they will.
Never know. Yeah.
I know. Ahsoka season 2 is coming up, and I saw someone say today that Shin Hati ends up joining forces with Ahsoka and Sabine, and then they all train together. And so like she's getting like training as a Mandalorian and training as a Jedi and stuff like that. So it's like that could be interesting. Well, Balin's off chasing down Abeloth, hopefully, but fingers crossed. I hope they do it justice. But anyway, that's for another show, another time. But yes, I'm excited.
May's coming up. You never know what we're going to touch on.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, did I cover everything? Yes, I did. So yeah, join us Friday or Thursday, depending on
depending on schedules.
Yeah, depending on your schedule.
Well, so our Friday show might actually be on Thursday, maybe.
Yeah,
we haven't quite figured out that yet because we want to have guests come on. It's our 200th episode after all, so
yep.
We're working things out. Stay tuned.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Man, I tell
you, the best way to know when we've actually gone live is if you subscribe. Hit subscribe, hit notifications, and you'll get notified. Yeah. So it's like, hey, it's Thursday. I gotta go. We gotta go get on the show. It's Thursday. They're doing it.
Yeah. Or it's Friday. Yeah.
So.
Never know. But yeah, and so there's some confusion. Like, we are partnered with the Madness Network. So if you are subscribed to the Madness Network, then you'll get everything. If you subscribe to just our channel, you'll get when we go live. But if you subscribe to the Madness, you'll get when everyone on the network goes live, which, speaking of, Lori Calcaterra is going to be live tomorrow at 11 o'clock for Tuesday Morning Brew. Yeah. This is a nice shirt, Zombie.
Yeah. Well, I had Legion's news, so I had to break out the Legion shirt.
Yeah.
Avi knows what it's about.
But anyway, so that's been
I think
it
that's
from
a show,
us.
Dustin.
That is the show. I'm going to end it as I say, Thunder Nerds Ho!
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens day.